What up, everybody? It's Ponter here, and today I've got an old game. This is from, back in the day, and it's a bunch of Smurfs. Um, I don't even know if I played this game. I don't remember having this, being this player. I think I may have downloaded this or had this shared with me. But it's a it is a match mode game, and I think there is a big skill imbalance um, between these two teams, and it's a pretty funny game, and it's gonna. I want to show this video because it really shows the power of the TA economy, and you're gonna see why in a very substantial way. I think people always say it's TA is the most important component of the game, and I would tend to agree. And you know the strategy that you choose doesn't really matter if you play the TA game correctly. But also, if the skill imbalance is so different between teams, then it doesn't matter how much you use or how you use the TA. As I've shown in a previous game where we played against GOG, which is a terrible team, and Shiny, which was a good team. GOG gets destroyed and nuked a million times. I don't know who these guys are, but they aren't that good. And these guys, I'm pretty sure I know who like most of them are, and they're all very good players. So yeah, they have a plan. So sexy sS3xy with the Smurf clan. They have a plan, and the plan is to abuse these guys. So right here, this is where like, okay, they're gonna do double air, but they only bring one scout, and double air is very powerful on this map. But if you suck at air, you're gonna get destroyed. And yeah, and they're blobbing infantry. And here's their strategies: they're gonna push airport with their armor and support and just leave the bridge, and the infantry is supposed to hold the bridge, which is an interesting strategy. Meanwhile, they they have a demo engineer setting up the IEDs. That's a good move. And yeah, they're gonna clean up. It's very annoying to deal with this. Definitely, unless like the tanks overextend and die. But yeah, it's hard. And let's look at. So they're doing double armor, and these guys, I think they did double air opening, but I don't know what they transitioned into. Looks like still double air, which is a legitimate strategy on Farmland. And but overextending tanks, and it's really hard to support a push from airport from the USSR side, because you got to go all the way around, and yeah, it's brutal. Look at this. Like, don't do this, guys. Don't stack infantry and then run them onto a CP on Farmland. And we can just watch this. LRA is gonna pick apart the armor player. That's good play. And like, honestly, if you're gonna do this push, go medium air. Look at this ballsy running infant here. The sniper was got. This is kind of, yeah. He's moving it around now, and it's gonna start engaging that infant, kill it. Yeah, if you're gonna do some kind of ambitious push as as USSR on Farmland, go mid-air. Because if you're parking tanks and support over here, it's really hard to support the tanks, no matter how much support units you dedicate to it. I notice they don't have any like tanks here. Like they can just sit here with support and fortify, and he's just getting shot at by inf. Just terrible. So yeah, this team must suck really badly. I don't know who they are, other than they're noobs. And yeah, and tanks are bad on this on this side, especially because it's kind of like a incline, so they can't even fire that far. Yeah, they don't have that much range over here. They have to come over here, and then by then your support is exposed and can't defend the tanks, and you're gonna get cleaned up by air, whose spawn is right here, and so they can easily get there. Compared to crop refinery is a much better place to attack from the USSR perspective, because really the USSR should just hold the crop refinery, the bridge, and then probably push here, and then harass this with drops. This push is just kind of futile. And look at this. They're thinking, do we decap? Yeah, we'll decap. And they're just giving away TA. And notice, yeah, no offensive TA has been thrown down by the sexy team. And you know, the usual play is you save your TA and you do drops. Like you feed your infantry player to do drops. You feed your your support player does drops jeeps, and maybe you do some desperate like heavy airstrikes on either side of the bridge if you really need it. But really, you should be saving TA until the 13-minute mark, and then you drop a nuke, or you're waiting for them to save their TA for the 13-minute mark for them to drop a nuke, and then you drop your counter nuke. But you're not going to see that strategy in this game. It's a little different, and you guys will see it when it happens. But for now, it's just a slow burn. But because USA holds the bridge and there's no like red team is C2A, they're focusing entirely on the airport. And look, not even, I mean, you got inf in the woods, like you might as well decap and try to entice them to come across. But yeah, they got snipers up the wazoo, just sniping. So even though red holds this bridge, they're not even getting a positive tick. Or even though they hold the airport most of the time, because you got to hold the bridge and something else. You can't just hold this and your back point. And then things like this, if you're going to push, air should always be thinking, okay, what side are we actually trying to attack? And like, look at all these overextended tanks. There's like 4 overextended tanks and 1 AA. And you got 2 air players could have wiped this, or at least done a shit ton of damage. But instead, this air player is killing forts, and his other air players failing, and they're getting a cap, and it's not going to end well if you waste time, and he's dying to forts. It's poor play as an air player, and because they're double air, and their inf player is like myopically focusing on the bridge, and he actually gets a good cap. Like, that's a good play, get the cap. But Packers here can harass, and it's impossible to push as armor when there's inf in the woods. Let alone you have to drive all this way, and all right, I might as well spoil it now because I showed it already because I'm a noob with the camera movement. But the strategy for the sexy team is this. This right here is an investment in the future of bad manner. And, shit like this, it warms my heart. And it's also, I've done this a few times. I actually just did this in a game with Revlift. And the trick is you just dump a bunch of drops in the back, and there's really nothing. If they don't notice, which they really should notice, like you should see the helicopters coming in and want to do something about it. But on Farmland, you tend to only look at this area, and yeah, it's not gonna. If you don't notice it early on and do something about it, the drop spam gets out of control, and it looks like the whole team is doing it. You know, and you got rep jeeps to repair the light tanks. Yeah, even the infantry player is doing tank drops, which is not cheap. But he's not even. He doesn't even have to do defensive. Like he hasn't done any paras. He hasn't done any. Nobody's done any paras. They've just been dropping light tanks. And yeah, it's definitely a risky strategy. I mean, I would generally suggest just doing just do your standard nuke at minute 13. But if you want to have a little bit of fun with it, do some deep operations. And look, like they're dropping their jeeps here, like they're so close that they don't notice. Like, it works really well on a homeland or on hometown. The strategy, that's the one I just did. I don't even think I have the replay, but yeah. And we're just gonna play this one out because, yeah, they're just waiting. It's a slow burn. And people outside are being noisy, those fuckers. So I'm just going to mute myself for a second, and we're just going to watch this go.
Your reinforcement has arrived. Standing by to send in more units.
Fight again?
Yes, sir. Dropping flares.
Target is confirmed.
Your reinforcements will be there in no time. Unit lost. Your new units are combat ready. Just give the order, and we'll send in some more units. Your reinforcement is ready. If you need more units, just
all right, I think the moment of yeah, the moment of unleashing the bad manner is coming. And they got some anti-air, and just look at those helicopters come in. And meanwhile the team is coordinating, sharing TA. Very good stuff. And I think they're ready to go. So we're going to slow this down. And look at this. It's majestic. You know, and one heavy already would fuck this thing up. Because there's so many units and there's so many different players. Like, they wouldn't be able to respond in time. Meanwhile, red team has switched sides. Kind of belatedly switched to the to attack the crop refinery. And, you know, oh, they do throw a nuke down too. So this is just kind of, you know, shake them up a little bit with the nuke. And this is a great Smurf name, by the way, you know. Beautiful. And then here it comes. You know, the attack. The last charge of the light brigade. And there's nothing you can do about this. Like, and they kept it pretty close too, which is it's pretty impressive. And notice the smooth transition from into like half medium air. That's really what you got to do, and as infantry on this map especially. I know I would just love to be in the VoIP chat of this clan when they saw this shit. Maybe these guys are such noobs that they don't even have voice chat, but how do you deal with this? There's so many damn units. Like they were dropping nonstop for the whole game, and that's the power of the TA generation. You know, it's not about your micro as much as not wasting TA on stupid shit, and then sharing the TA with the people who need it, and just being patient, and all they did was defend this side of the map and let the enemy attack. And here we go. This is how you deal with inf in the open, you know. Just drive over them. And like their air player can't do shit, and he's getting killed by mid-air, and he's got a star. Brutal. And they're just parking in the spawn. They're big newbie lines. Oh, here we go. Oh, just asking for that. Beautiful. And yeah, that's how a good team, like these were pro players, these players here on the sexy team. And look at the audience too, like just embarrassing for the C2A clan. And of course, this got uploaded to Wick Tracker, which is I think how I got it, or somebody gave it to me because it. Yeah, this nice team killing. And that's how you deal with a bad team. You got to be creative in your bad manners. You got to be brutal. And yeah, this was a quick game. I hope the noise wasn't too bad. And yeah, I'll try to get some live games going later. But yeah, thanks everybody. Later.